On a quiet night, in a Victorian-style house in the city of London, the sky was adorned with stars that shone gently like tiny lights in the darkness. In a cozy attic room, Wendy sat at the edge of the bed, reading a fairy tale to her two younger brothers, John and Michael.
Somewhere far away, there was a boy who never grew up. His name was Peter Pan. He could fly and lived in a magical place called Neverland.
With wide, hopeful eyes, Michael said,
I want to fly too, and meet a fairy like in the book.
John, the second child, handed over his glasses and said,
That's just a story. There's no way a boy could actually fly.
The night breeze blew gently, rustling the thin white curtains like soft hands waving in the dark. Suddenly, from beyond the half-open window, came the cheerful and gentle voice of a young boy.
It's not just a story. I'm here.
Wendy gasped and turned her head. There, floating in the air with a mischievous smile, stood a boy wearing a leaf-shaped hat and a small dagger at his waist. Beside him fluttered a tiny fairy glowing with golden yellow light. Tinker Bell. Wendy was stunned by the sight of Peter Pan and Tinker Bell, so much so that she stammered.
You're really Peter Pan?
Peter Pan chuckled and said,
And you must be Wendy, John, and Michael. Come with me to Neverland, a place where you can play all day, meet mermaids, and fight pirates.
Peter Pan sprinkled fairy dust over them. In an instant, their bodies felt light, and they began to fly. Soaring over rooftops, drifting through the night clouds, and gliding toward a sky full of stars. Neverland stretched out beautifully beneath the twilight sky, a magical island with towering trees, crystal-clear waterfalls, and the distant sound of children's laughter. There, they met the lost boys, cheerful children who never went home. The children were delighted to meet Wendy and said,
Wendy, you can be our mother. We've never had anyone to read us bedtime stories before.
Wendy smiled warmly and replied,
Of course. I'll tell you stories before bed.
But the happiness didn't last long. In the distance, the tolling of a clock and a heavy, angry voice could be heard. Captain Hook shouted from atop his ship,
Peter Pan, it's time for us to face each other.
Peter Pan replied, ready to fight Captain Hook.
Hook! I won't let you lay a hand on my friends.
On the black pirate ship, Peter Pan and Captain Hook dueled beneath the moonlight. Tinker Bell darted through the air, helping Peter dodge the sword strikes. In the midst of the duel, Captain Hook suddenly shouted in panic,
Ugh, the crocodile is coming again.
Suddenly, a giant crocodile emerged from the water, chasing the terrified Captain Hook until he jumped into the sea. Of course, the duel was won by Peter Pan. The night grew late, and all the children slept beneath the stars. Wendy sat at the edge of the cliff, gazing at the moon as it slowly rose into the sky. In a soft voice, Wendy said to Peter Pan,
Peter, Neverland is truly a magical world, but I miss home.
Peter Pan replied sadly yet with a smile,
I understand. Sometimes, going home is the bravest adventure of all.
With a gentle breeze and the last sprinkle of fairy dust, Peter Pan escorted Wendy, John, and Michael back to their room. The next morning, they woke up in their own beds. But everything felt different, as if their hearts now carried a touch of magic.